So if you're losing 7%, I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying that would be the average school. They're losing 7%. If we get 10% new, we've got room for growth. It's not massive growth, but it's a great start. So when we first start doing this system, 10%. So then you start thinking, okay, what do I have to do to market to get 13 students? I need 13 students because I don't want to be stagnant. I want to keep growing. So you get 130 students. The goal is to get 13 new. Now, those 13 new, we want 50% to pay in full and 50% to finance. Those are just really solid numbers. So if I had 13 people and 6 paid in full, and my paid in full amount was $995, I'd be getting $6,000 in paid in full. Now, when I first started teaching this, this is some people, they say, well, that's all good, but I want to build my check. Well, we're going to build the check. What we're going to do is we're going to convert those people that paid in full into a longer-term membership in 3 months. So I'm getting the good, strong income this month. 3 months from now, I'm still getting new students. I'm still getting them to paid in full. But the people who've been there for 90 days, now I'm going to convert them to a longer-term membership. Some people will pay that in full, but usually the cost is so much you're going to get less paid in fulls. So 90% of the people are going to finance it. Our upgrade goal. Our upgrade goal is 8% of our active count. So what we're looking for is 8% active. So which would be like approximately 9 students for you. So you're looking for 9 upgrades. Out of those upgrades, 1 paid in full, because we're looking for 10%, and 8 people to finance. Now, when they finance, they're going to give you additional down payments, so you're still making money on down payments. If you're doing a 24-month paid in full, that could be almost a $3,000 payment. You're not going to get a lot of those, but people that have been there for a while, they love you. They can see a benefit of paying in full. So what would the benefit for paying in full? Well, this is one thing we do with Mr. Convento. For every 12 months a person enrolls, they get another month added on for free if they paid in full. So if they do a 1-year paid in full, they get an extra month. They do a 2-year paid in full, they get 2 months. 3-year paid in full, they get 3 months. That would be an incentive. Some people give a financial incentive. If you pay in full, we're going to give you 20% off the total cost. Either way, we're looking for an incentive because we know that if we get a certain amount of paid in fulls, that's going to just help our bottom line. Next thing, equipment packages. I'm going to say 100% of the people will buy equipment packages because they need equipment packages. There's some people that say, well, I'm just going to include the equipment package in my down payment. Or I'm going to just charge 50% for a equipment package if people pay in full. This is when you have to think about equipment packages. If we're working on retention, a couple things have to happen. One, we just got to teach real good classes so people don't want to quit. But if people get buyer's remorse, we want to make sure they have a lot invested in our program so the dad goes, hey, you know, I put a down payment on this program. I bought you all this stuff. You're not quitting. So buying an equipment package really helps retention, but they have to pay for it. So if your equipment package includes a second uniform, hand pads, shin pads, gloves, equipment bag, kicking shield, whatever it needs, you know, for people to be successful in your program, people should be buying that equipment package because people like to buy the stuff. They may not want to pay a down payment in a program, but they want to have the gear. I mean, the gear is cool. I know Blake bought a Harley Davidson. Usually when you buy a Harley Davidson, if you buy it at a dealership, first thing they do is take you for a tour for the repair shop, and then they end up the tour in the pro shop because they want you to buy the T-shirt, they want you to buy the leather belt, and the chain for your wallet because people love that stuff. I mean, if they had a tattoo parlor at Harley Davidson, people probably get tattooed before they drive their Harley home because they want to have that stuff. Well, it should be the same thing with your karate school. You know, I want that gear, man. When I put those wraps on, the gloves on, now I feel like a martial artist. So you want to sell your equipment package, for a couple reasons. Again, it's going to improve your student value. Same time, people have more invested. If they have more invested in the program, they're less likely to give that money up and quit. Next thing, we're looking for events. Events be like your parents' night out. It could be a seminar. The guideline is 20%. So 20% of your active students, that's what you're going for every single month. It may not be the same 20%, but if you're getting 20%, you're getting in a good crowd. Your school, that'd be 26 people coming to a parent's night out. 26 people are going to bring you some referrals, which are going to help you get those 13 new students. Those 26 people each paying $20, well, that's $560 added to your gross. So that's going to help your, again, your student value. Camps. Blake School just put out a profit generator through Rainmaker. And what they did is they started pre-selling camps for summer. And the first week of this month, I think they sold, I'm not quite sure, I'm going to just say 10 camps. So they brought in a few $1,000s for gross just by pre-selling camps for next summer. They didn't work really hard at it. They announced it in class. They sent out a profit generator on their Facebook. People just automatically paid for it. So that camp money is revenue for increasing your student value. Pro Shop. A lot of schools don't have Pro Shop because they don't want to have a lot of inventory, and the inventory is just your income sitting on shelves. But you may have gear. In other words, a lot of schools are doing a rotation of a weapon cycle. So every 3 months you're doing a weapon. And people have to buy the weapon for the cycle. So every 3 months you're adding income for the Pro Shop. Some schools allow their students to wear any color gear they want. So now a student has black gear and all of a sudden something comes out really cool and they can get these green and black gloves. Well, they might want to get a second gear. I just saw someone ask Century if they sell uniforms with shorts for summertime. We used to do this in Arizona. I forget the company we got them from, but they had shorts that went just below the knees and a gi top, so the kids can wear that in summer. So that'd be a summer uniform. T-shirt.
Sun sells those out of California.
Tiger Claw. That's exactly who I was thinking of. So again, what can I add to the Pro Shop? I have a friend, Randy Holman, who's got a school in Washington. He actually supplies all the weapons for his kids to use. So the parents do not have to buy weapons. So if they're going to just do nunchucks, he probably has 50 sets of rubber nunchucks hanging on the wall. He says, okay, get a chuck. But kids still want to have their own. So even though he lets people use them, which I think is a great service, kids want to buy the latest and greatest. So Pro Shop is not only just saying we have this available, but thinking about what other things students are going to want to buy on a semi-regular basis to add to your Pro Shops. And then the last part of your billing is your monthly recurring billing, whatever you're doing through Member Solution or now with Rainmaker. So if you stick with this formula, and even if you just kind of want to play with this, I'm not talking to Josh because Sal and Blake have been through this a couple times. If you just want to go over your numbers for last month, and so, okay, if I signed up 10% new and half the people paid in full, what would I have taken in? Now, if I did upgrades, if I had one upgrade, did I do 9 of them? If I didn't do 9 of them, well, are there opportunities? Where would the opportunities be? Well, maybe people that are 90 days out, not 30 days out. What would have happened if one of those people paid in full? With all the new students I signed up, what would my income be if 100% bought the equipment package, if 20% people for the events? And I think if you looked at, there's one thing too we put in here. Events, I should have put plus birthday parties. Sal Convento, picture above you, he's doing a $549 birthday party. He does a discount if they join his school, so he's making a little extra money on his birthday parties. So that's, if he sells 2 a month, that's another $1,000.
I heard that last week or yesterday when Sal talked about his birthday parties and having that. And the location that I'm at here in Alexandria, other people do birthday parties, but I've don't know of anyone here that has birthday parties that they're, charging nearly $500 for the birthday party. So is that something that is unique to just your demographic area, Sal, or is that something that is just what you put into the value for that birthday party?
It's what I put into the value of it. I include a bounce house. I include, and this is what Parrot likes, that we actually send out the invites and we actually verify that people are coming. So we do the legwork for them. We just tell them, bring a birthday cake and food for your friends, and we provide the pizza for the kids. Even, and this is the best thing I think, is that we give them T-shirt and for karate class, because at the end of the day, Josh, we're doing these birthday parties not just for the $500 that we make, but really for the future that we're going to get students, right?
Right.
So before we would say, hey, why don't you come in and try out a class? It's $10, $15, which we still do for the cheap birthday parties. That's for $199. But now we include it, and that value is $103 based on our class. Our monthly class cost is $175. So they like that, and when they see all of that, I mean, just about everybody is doing. No one's doing the $199 birthday party anymore, to be honest.
Sure.
So I think if you look around your town there in Minnesota, and you look for birthday parties, what they charge and what they provide, you could look at it and just adjust it to your town's area.
Sure. Yeah, actually, I'm watching Master Silva go through and look at one of the art. It's called Art Bar 39. They do painting and sculpture and pottery stuff, and they probably have one of the best kind of parties here so far. But
what do they charge?
He's looking at it right now. It's like
$175.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to charge $199 for up to 10 kids, so I was about in that same rate for 10 kids, and just looking at how to do that a little bit better. I felt like it wasn't a very good party.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked your idea of all of the stuff that goes in that, the bounce house, although in Minnesota in the wintertime those don't work.
Yeah, I get that, but definitely during the summertime.
When I was talking to Blake one time about doing a $400 birthday party, I said, Blake, what if you did everything Star Wars themed? So the kid comes in, they've got balloons Star Wars, they got the table Star Wars, they got all the plates Star Wars. Everyone's going to get a lightsaber. They're going to learn a class on how to use a lightsaber. Something like that. I know it's a little bit more to get going. I'm sure you can charge a lot for something like that.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I think what really matters is not just the original 3 or 4 or 500. The big pie is getting them to be students, right? That's like the big fish. This is like minnows, the 2 or the 400. I mean, $449 is a chunk of change. I'm not saying that it's not, but really for us, what matters is that they join.
Sure.
So
like I had 2 parents' night outs. I did a Nerf night and a Parkour Warrior parents' night out, and I had 40 plus kids in both parents' night out, and I have 8 new students out of those 2 events in January and February. So
That's
cool. It was a little bit of the $600, $700 in revenue from the parents' night out, but the better revenue is the new students from that.
Exactly. How much did you charge for the parents' night out?
It was $30, but they got to bring a friend for free.
Yeah. See, and that's funny because we do the same thing and we don't get that many students. See? So it just depends, man.
Sure.
I actually charge $20 and they bring a friend for free.
Okay.
We don't even get that many.
Yeah, we had to cap it. The last one for Parkour Warrior, we capped it at 40, and we had a 16-person waiting list.
Wow. Parkour. And someone's teaching that, I guess?
Oh, it was just a parents' night out. It was one of Adam Kiefer's Parents Night Out action kits. And so we ran the action kit, and we have 2 floors. Here in Alexandria, it's a 4,000 square foot, 2-floor facility. So we had 2 different floors of events going on, and then we just rotated. And then at the very end, we just put both floors together and ran a big obstacle course through both floors.
Cool. And you got $20 out of that, or 30. See, and that's the big picture, is getting them to join.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's a nice change, $400 or $500 or $1,000, but the big picture is getting them to join. And so I think the smartest thing is to get them to do the 4 karate classes and a t-shirt, and now we don't have to worry about trying to get them to participate. So
right.
So again, now that we have this formula, I guess it's just kind of up to you guys to see what you're going to do to make it happen. I was talking to Blake's staff yesterday. They came really close to their new student goal, but they didn't come close to their 50% paid in full. So my idea was for Blake, and he's got the woman who does the phone calls, her name is Haley. So Haley's calling everyone up who signed up who didn't pay in full. And she's just saying that we're about to close out the month and send all our programs into the finance company for financing. We'd just like to give you another opportunity to pay in full. The balance on your program is $700. And what we want to do is give you another incentive of $100 if you like to pay it in full before the 28th. So the whole idea is we got all these people. They had gone up from a 6-month program to a 9-month program. They found out when they went up to 9-month program, their paid in fulls didn't slow down a little, they slowed down a lot. So they still sign up a lot of people. So now the whole idea is a certain percentage of those people, if they got a good incentive, if they got, could we were talking about birthday parties, if you like to pay in full before we send the programs into Rainmaker, we would like to add on a free birthday party and 6 months of parent sign-outs. It's a $399 value, and you get the absolutely free just by paying off your program before the end of the month. So the thing is, if we're going to make these numbers, then it's up to us to make sure we hit all the percentages, because if you don't hit the percentages, you're not going to hit the goal of getting a $200 student value. Josh, just curious, how close are you to get $26,000 between both those schools?
To get $26,000, that would be a long way. I just ran the numbers on my student value based on what you're talking about. My student value is about $53 a student currently, so I got a long way to go.
Okay. I was working with Tom Baker. Tom Baker, his was $94, and it probably took him a year before he started getting up into the 180 to 200. But you can make a huge difference right away. If yours that low, I'm saying a lot of people probably aren't paying in full. Either you're not asking for it, or they're just choosing not to pay in full.
No, we haven't done many of them. We started, I did William Pierce's holiday sale blueprint, and we got a whole bunch of paid in fulls, and we had more paid in fulls in that November event than I've had I've been teaching running schools since 2002. So we had more in that than the entire other 17 years combined.
Okay, so this would be my challenge next. If I did that at a holiday sale and a lot of people paid off their programs, I would have to think of what I could still sell those people who paid off the program. So in other words, if you have an add-on program, I don't know if you do Hyper or something like that. If someone paid off a regular program, then you introduced Hyper, you introduced a competition team, you introduced a certified instructor training program. Is there another program they can add on because they paid off the regular program, but now you're offering something else where they can take another class a week? Or if they paid in full and you promised them 2 classes a week, probably some of your students would really like to get a 3rd class in, so could we offer them a 3rd class? Sal kind of followed Tom Baker's lead in this. He's got one add-on program, so it's an elective. That's $45 a month. If people want to do an additional add-on program, that would be $35. If they want to do a 3rd add-on program, that would be $25. So there's more for people to opt in than just the basic martial arts class.
Sure.
Steve Baxley, I don't know who's on, with got pictures on, but I know he's on. He's about to launch 2 separate core programs in school where people can choose either mixed martial arts or BJJ. But once they're locked into one program, they'll have the opportunity to add in another class. So they start off with mixed martial arts. They want to add in a BJJ class. Well, that'd be another $60 per month to add in that curriculum. So if you did really good on the holiday sale, but you did really good and now you have less people paying, we have to figure what we can offer that's still in your core realm. I mean, we don't want to add in Zumba or something like that, or maybe you do, but you want to add something that fits your core. So maybe if you don't have a competition team, competition is they're using your core material, but now they have that outlet to do competition. So kind of think there that what's solid and relates to your core.
Right.
Any other questions or comments? Good stuff. Sal's rocking back and forth, so he's going to have people calling for those paid in fulls. He goes, yeah, I can make 10 calls saying, get one of those people to pay in full, make another $1,000 before the end of the day.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Sal just thinks opportunity's knocking. All right, guys. Pleasure. Great talking to you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Bye now.